What is going on, everyone? AP over here at Rumpier Sports, bringing to you once again the Strokes Gain Show two-man booth tonight. We got Snyder. Hoop is a little vacation, I believe, but Snyder, we got this. I mean, it's gonna I love the 3M Open because we're coming off a major championship, the Open Championship. Everyone's flying back. There's so many different narratives, and there's. I think it's kind of people get a little bit lazy with their process this week, which creates some nice edge. But first, let's do a quick recap. How was the Open Championship for you?
Yeah, it ended up being pretty good for me. I was well overweight on Cameron Smith. I actually had him outright as well. Rory was the guy I was high on. A couple of those guys made some charges late that really helped out, like Robert McIntyre and Tommy Fleetwood and a few of those other guys. But I mean, I didn't really have an outstanding week or nothing. But I mean, it was a good overall week. It was a good 2-3x week. I mean, gonna take it absolutely and then head on. But yeah, this week's shaping up to be a quite interesting slate here with the pricing they had put out. It seems like DraftKings is kind of asleep at the wheel and just kind of hit a button and just said, screw it. Put a lot of these guys at some weird pricings here according to their odds. So we'll get into it and break it down, but it's shaping up to be an interesting event here.
Yeah, it really is. And I wanted to hit on one thing before we fully dive into the 3M. A lot of people, some of the narrative out there, and I don't still have like a full answer for this, but the guys that are coming back that played in the Open Championship that are in the field at the 3M, Tony Finau is one of them. He's the highest priced golfer in this field. How have they performed? Well, it's kind of mixed. I looked at it. Louis Oosthuizen, 2021 Open Championship T3. How'd he finish at the 3M the following week? T2. Gary Woodland missed the cut, missed the cut at the Open, followed it up with a T11 at the 3M. You got Patrick Reed made cut at the 3M, T34. The interesting ones, Bobby Mack and Keith Mitchell both missed cut, and then they both were well inside the top 10 at 3M next week. So, I could keep going. I could go down the whole list. The only notable one, like Dustin Johnson, T8 at the Open 2021. What did he do at the 3M? That for some reason he was in the field the following week, missed the cut. So, my kind of read on that is it really depends on the golfer. Like someone like a Dustin Johnson, obviously they're not going to care about the 3M. Not in the field this week, obviously on the Live Tour. But so my thing is, I'm not putting like a huge weighting into that. It's going to be an individual golfer type of thing, and I'm going to feel it out. So I'm not going to put a ton of weight on it. It's really just going to kind of feel if someone's popping, like if Tony Finau is like going to be mega chalk or something, I'm going to be under on him because what has he done for us lately? Not a lot. He was just at the Open, had T28. He kind of came alive, I believe, in that last round. But that's kind of how I'm going to take that approach this week. Hideki's the other interesting one. He grades pretty well, and we're going to get into that 10K range. But I
think this is the event that DJ forcefully hit that ball into the water on 18. Wasn't this the event last year where he was well inside the cut line and put like 2 in the drink and just kind of melded in on 18?
Yeah, I think you're right with that one. So, but I do think there are others that are somewhat interesting to where it might not be, a big factor. But, for me, the Open, it was a fine week, an almost break even week. I was only kicking myself with Seamus Power. Outside of him, my main squad, I had Rory, I had Cam Smith, and, I had Kevin Kisner, who was the workbench play of the week. But, Seamus Power in there was very, very hurtful. And, you got to live with it, though. The workbench is that play is finally starting to heat back up, which is a very good sign. It was cold.
Kisner was in the top. He was in the top 10 there for a while until I think he fell back on the last few holes.
But the back 9 killed him, man. It just killed him. If he got, I'll go into that. But Brian Harmon was another cheapie I was looking at. He was in my pool And he actually, I think he finished T6. But anyways, let's get on to it. Let's get to the 3M. Snyder, give us a little course breakdown.
Yeah, we're at the TPC Twin Cities here. It's a Palmer track built in 2000. Steve Winsloff actually renovated this track back in 2018 before the PGA Tour began play here. The track measures 7,431 yards. It's a par 71. The greens here are generously sized here at 6,500 square feet on average, which is larger than average than we typically see on the PGA Tour. The bentgrass greens here are going to roll around 12 on the stimp meter. The main defense to this course is the 27 water hazards it has on the property. 15 of the 18 holes are going to have water in play here. The landing areas in the fairway are pretty generous to the golfers. So we do see a lot of water balls here. I think it's the most. I think it was the most last year and the year before, like right even above Sawgrass. But the win here can also be the defense. Last year, the winning score was Cameron Champ at 15 under. The previous 2 years, the winning scores was 19 and 21. So the win did held the scoring in check a little bit last year. So that'll be something we need to keep an eye on too as we get further into this. The par three par fives here, they're all going to play over 590 yards. 3 of the 4 par threes are going to play over 200 yards as well. I'm looking at long iron play. I think that's going to be needed this week. A lot of the approach shots are going to come in from 175 yards and away. Some of the other key stats we'll be looking at this week: strokes gained approach off the tee with an emphasis on distance. Birdies are better percentage, and par fours 450 to 500, and then strokes gained putting.
Yeah, very good. We got Kurt. What's going on, man? You're a little blurry on my end, but maybe you're showing up. We got Kurt rolling. Kurt, how long are we going to have you in here for? Just so I know in advance.
I think we'll be good. I'll give Simon a heads up.
All right, we'll be good.
Yeah, I think we'll be good.
Because what's going on? You got a little date, right? Kurt is Hoop's replacement. Has a date tonight. Awesome, Kurt. I wish I was. How old are you, Kurt?
23.
27. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm an old man, AP.
No, Big T, he's staying at my folks' lake house. I'm burnt like crazy, throwing his kids off the tube and stuff. I'm dying. I did the tube. Like Amber was driving me. I did it for a little bit. I'm feeling it right now. It's crazy. I'm not as young as I once was. It's crazy. But Kurt, we're to the point in the show. We're gonna go tier by tier. I'm gonna start with you, man. I don't know if you have pricing up or not. The 10K range is pretty short this week. We're looking at like 3 guys.
Yes.
So here's what I want to do. Let's combine the 9K and 10K range. Yep. Talk to us about 9K and up.
I got to be honest. I mean, I'm sure you all have, people who have started researching already have heard this a lot, but it's going to be an ownership week for me. I'm not going to play a lot of these guys that are I'm just going to play the lowest owned dude. It's looking like Matt McNeil is not going to be that high. So him and Hab when I have up there, I'm going to pick one, I think, of Tony, Hideki, and M. I want to pick one. I'm leaning Tony just because there's some people out there who are believing that he's going to WD. Some clown on Twitter said that or something. So I'm loving that. I'm thinking that's going to steam him down a little bit. Anything counts in this kind of field. Davis Riley, of course, he's probably going to be chalky, but I think I'm going to eat a little bit of chalk. But Riley will be probably the one. And then that'll do it. I mean, I don't want that many up here. I want to be different on a week like this, and I don't want to eat too much ownership. So probably 3 guys in this top 9, maybe 4. And that's my 4.
Yeah, it is a week to where, I think it was Butters in chat, talking about game theory and everything. It is a higher, variance is higher this week. Pricing is very interesting. Tony Finau, when's the last time he's been the highest priced golfer in the field? And then also getting ownership is kind of wild to think about. So I like that idea. I'm not, I wouldn't talk anyone out of it. And it's all about keeping an eye on ownership and what's going to happen up here. The thing is people hate to leave salary on the table, especially in PGA. What's going to happen when you look at the optimizer, when you run it? I did a few sims on SaberSim today, early this morning. Just kind of, once pricing for me came out and I started looking at it, And gosh, it's going to force some of these guys in that are higher priced, just because that's what we're accustomed to doing as far as like roster construction goes. So that's going to artificially, inflate some of these guys down here. And I might be on board with you with being underweight some of these guys. But Snyder, Saheed, you've been a Saheed truther for a long time, longer than anyone else, I've talked to as far as PGA goes. What are you doing though? 9K and up. We got Mav McNeely, another guy that you like, Saheed, and then Tony Finau at top. What are you doing with this range?
Yeah, I'm seeing right now, I think Finau and Riley are going to be the two highest owned guys. I think both of them are going to approach like 30% ownership here. I think one thing, like you were mentioning about SaberSim, I think a way that we can get different here this week is that when we get into our SaberSim, we're building our rules and whatnot. Just go in there and type in max salary like 49.7, 49.6, and then max that out and then run. I think you could run 4,900, maybe even dip into the 48s. I think some of this pricing is so soft this week, according to the odds, that I think if we set our optimizers at like 49.6 or something, I think it doesn't matter who we play then, because we're going to be playing them different than most people. Most people are not going to want to leave that much salary on the table. So I think that's an interesting thing for us to look at in GBPs this week. But for me in this top tier range, I think I'm just going to get a little wild here. I think I'm going to fade all these guys from Hadwin up. I mean, I'm going to play Hadwin, but I'm going to be off Theegala this week. I've been on him quite a bit throughout his career, but I don't think I'm going to play him this week. There's a lot of guys underneath him that are better odds to win than him, so I think I'm going to be off him. I'm going to be off Sungjae. I'm going to be off Hideki. Hideki did have that great round, the final round at the old course last weekend. Finau, 10-5. I think that's a great price tag on Finau, and he's really played well on some of these lower, weaker type field events. He got second at the Canadian Open, fourth at the Schwab, second at the Mexican Open. But I think Finau I'm just going to probably just take a stand there and just fade all four of those guys, because that's going to make me very different, I think, because I think all four of those guys are going to be at least 20% ownership. I think this ownership's going to spread out quite a bit here in this 9 and 10K range. So if I can like eliminate half the pool and go with like guys like Hadwin, I like him. My guy Matt McNeely is right back. I think he's right back in form. The off the tee game and the iron game looks to be back for him. Hit over 70% of his greens in regulation and fairways last week at the Barracuda en route to a top 10 finish. He can bomb it off the tee. I think this is one of those events. I called it out back in like the first video that we did this year. I said Mav's going to get his first win this year. I think this is the spot that he does it. So I'm going to be on Mav this week. I like Davis Riley there at 9K as well. He's in great form, making his last 7 cuts. 5 of those that are coming inside the top 13. Riley has the ability to go low, as we've seen. I think this is another breakout spot for him. He could possibly get a win here too. He's already had 3 top 5 finishes this year too. So I'm going to be on Riley. I'm going to be on McNeely. I'm going to be on Hadwin. And then I'm going to be fading the rest of the guys above him for this top tier range.
Yeah, really good thoughts there from both of you. Saheed Theegala, for me, like, this guy is awesome. But the problem is, man, John Deere, he played well, T16. Then flew out to the Open Championship, was phenomenal. I was very impressed. I got lucky, man. I had a side bet against Tambo there, Kevin Kisner against Saheed. I thought I was done. I was gonna pay him out early on that, like I did Uncle T. Shout out to Uncle T. And I didn't, though. Luckily I didn't. And Kisner battled back. But Saheed, it's like, man, you're playing in the States, you're hopping the pond, now you're going back to the States. That's like a lot of distance traveled right there. I do think he has a skill set to be able to contend, but when you're looking at options up here, he's a guy that's been performing very well, especially recently. He's been very good, in many different metrics that we're looking at. The putter, though, is kind of it's not, I always look at a last 24 rounds cumulative number. He's minus 4.9 strokes over his last 24 rounds. which is kind of low. You know, we've seen this to be kind of a putting contest. Cam Champ, surprisingly, you know, came into this event last year being a terrible putter, and he gained a ton of strokes putting. It wasn't his distance that got it done for him at this event, which was kind of interesting. So I'm really torn on Saheed there. I like Adam Hadwin. I like Davis Riley a lot. He checks a ton of boxes, and I like your boy Mav. My thing here is like, okay, Finau. I think he's going to get some ownership, but man, Finau's like been the biggest disappointment like for a long time now. I'm a Finau guy. I love playing him. I love playing when he's in the 8K range. I can't tell you the last time I played him when he was 10K or higher. I can't even tell you when the last time he was 10K or higher was. So, you know, it kind of makes sense. But I just, man, if he's going to get any type of ownership at all, I just can't play him. Sung J.M., though, man, like the narrative of him crushing in shitty fields, much like this one is, you know, all things relative, is just such a strong narrative. He's coming in with terrible form. Miscut at the U.S. Open, miscut at the Scottish Open, T81 at the Open Championship. The guy's been terrible, but he's back in the States. He's back at a course that he should be fine at. The putter looks okay. The ball striking looks okay. And his ownership, he looks to be one of the lower owned potentially in this range, unless I'm looking at outdated stuff. If he's coming in lower owned, which I do think he ends up being lower owned, I have interest in Sung Jae here. I just love him in shit field type events. So sign me up for Sung Jae at this moment. No guarantee that I play him, but I have a ton of interest right now, more interest than Hideki, Finau, and Theegala. And then it's Matt McNeely, Davis Riley, and then some interest in Adam Hadwin for me. So I think maybe I'm on an island. I like some of these guys a little bit more than you, but that's fine. So Snyder, give me your favorite guy, 9K and up, just one.
I'm going to go with my guy, Matt McNeely this week. I think he gets it done for us. So I'm going to go with him.
Yeah, I like that. Mine's Davis Riley. I ran I posted in Discord too. I ran so many different like random models, and Davis Riley checks a ton of boxes. But Kurt, give us your favorite overall play, 9K and up. I think you might have already done that, but then take us into the 8K range.
I'm actually going to go with Adam Hadwin, Old Canada. I feel like he's going to be relative to everyone else.
Oh, Canada. Kurt.
Down to 8K. So I do like Cameron Davis. Everything pops. It seems like a good course for him, but I just want to see where the ownership is because I like I said, I'm running 150. I want to get double. I don't want to be uncomfortable of the amount of Cameron Davis I have. So he might be an ownership fade for me. I'd rather just go to Tringali for less ownership. I think he has about the same amount of upside. Last year, he took this tournament away a little bit. Don't mind him. Ches, didn't he just win the Barbasol? Doesn't matter. I'm not really going to chase that recent form. That awesome Barbasol field he had over there and beat. But no interest in Ches. I'm not a Ches guy. I do like Adam Long. There was a bit there where I kept playing him and I was like, this guy just doesn't birdie for me ever. But that's just not the case. And he kind of won me back a little bit of the money he lost me previously. But I really like Poston in this range. I know you're on him early in this chat, but I think when he did the John Deere interview, I think he just really found something in his game. And I mean, obviously you got the MC across the pond, but this is similar to the John Deere like kind of event. I mean, and he's 8'5". He's the kind of guy I would play pretending like I'm playing like a 9K guy and leave salary. So Steele, I mean, if you run any models, Steele's he's gonna be up there. I haven't decided what I'm going to do on him either because it's everything pops and he's been good to me. No Marty Laird for me. Nick Hardy, probably my favorite play of the entire tournament. And I just think Hardy's really good. I mean, last week I played my guys that I liked and it was my best 6 out of 6. I've had quadruple the field on 6 out of 6. And this week, to a minor extent, some of the lower level guys, I'm just going to play my guys and Nick Hardy is one of those guys.
Is it safe to say you're hard for Hardy?
I'm hard for Hardy.
All right, Snyder. Enough of the dad jokes. Talk to us about the 8K range.
Yeah, Hoop's not here, so we gotta have somebody to bring through the dad jokes for us.
We definitely do.
But yeah, this 8K range is pretty interesting here. I think Cam Davis is Very good target here. 25-1 to win this event. He's off back-to-back top 10 finishes. 7 of his last 12 rounds, he's posted 68 or lower. The irons have been on fire with those last 3 events, hitting 72, 86, and 75% of his greens in regulation. I think he's got the ability to score well here, and he can hit the ball well off the tee. He hits it over 300 yards off the tee, so that'll be good. Adam Long's another guy in great form. He comes off 3 straight top 25 finishes with a 13th at the John Deere his last time out. Long's been known to shoot some low numbers here as well when the putter heats up for him. Another guy at 25-1 odds to win this event. JT Poston's been a boomer bust guy for us this year, but the upside definitely outweighs the downside, as we've seen him win the John Deere a couple weeks ago. He finished second at the Travelers the week before. He was also third at the Heritage earlier this year, so I think he's definitely an interesting option. He was 28th here last year. He's 40-1 to win this event right now. Brendan Steele, he's getting talked up quite a bit. I'm seeing Brendan Steele and Cam Davis around that 25% ownership range, so that'll be interesting. He had a really brutal starts of the year. Steele did. He missed his first 5 cuts, but since then the game's been in prime form. He's made his last 7 cuts. 3 finishes. His last 3 finishes have came 25th, 9th, and 10th. His game should set up very well for this track as well. So I agree with him being a popular guy, but I do like the Hardy call there at the bottom. I think Hardy's going to be lower owned than most of the guys in this range. I think he's going to be lower than Tringali, Long, Davis, and Steele. So we're getting a guy in Nick Hardy who's been playing some great golf as well. With finishes of 13th last week. He was 8th at the Travelers, 14th at the U.S. Open, and he has a couple other top 40s mixed in with 5 straight cuts he's made. So I think Hardy's definitely a great play in this range as well, and he'll be the lower owned, I think, of this range.
Yeah, very good. So, my advice here is this range is going to get ownership. It has to, because I do think people kind of, when you're going through this, the options 10K and up aren't as attractive as we're used to seeing. And so what happens is if people start in the 9K, the high 9K range, it's going to leave them with the ability to choose multiple 8K guys. So I think naturally ownership is going to gravitate to this range. So what I'm getting at is I want to pick and choose, and there's good chalk and there's bad chalk. Good chalk I'm willing to eat. I'm willing to go overweight on. The good chalk, in my opinion, is Cam Davis. Cam Davis has everything going right now. I think he's a guy that can win. I really do. When I look at him, he's a PGA Tour winner already. Bombs it off the tee. 15th in distance in this field. 6th in birdies. And the putter, the putting metric I look at, last 24 rounds cumulative, he's gained 10 strokes. I love seeing that, especially coming into this event. And the recent form is just very, very strong. So tons of interest in him. Comparing it to like a Brendan Steele, or let's start with JT Poston. Poston, I'm a Poston guy. Hoop's little brother. Go Google it. Looks exactly like, I guarantee he's related to Hoop's family in some way, shape, or form. The guys are like literally identical. But the thing with Poston is he won the John Deere, flew out to play in the Open Championship that he made, missed the cut, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is, coming off a win like that. But now he's flying back to the States. What an experience for him, playing the Open, coming off a PGA Tour win. I believe it was his first. Chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe it was his first win. That's such an emotional up and down high, to where if he's going to be popular, I'm fine fading him, even though I like him. Brendan Steele. So my thing with Brendan Steele, it comes like he's gotten it done all ball striking, all approach. He's first in ball striking right now, first on approach. The problem is over his last 24 rounds putting, he's a -10 strokes gained. So he's the exact opposite as Cam Davis. So from a pure metric standpoint, Cam Davis grades out phenomenally better than Brendan Steele. However, this course has been one of those to where if the ball striking's there, the putting kind of falls into place. So I'm not saying I'm fading Steele. I'm just saying I prefer Cam Davis, more than that. I am, however, fine fading Ches Reavie, fading JT Poston. Maybe fading Cameron Tringali. I'm not sure. Cameron Tringali, actually, the more I think about it, falls into that category of, you know what? He played well at the Open. He could have done better. I think it was round 3. He had a good round going, and I think he made like a random 7 or something that actually absolutely dusted him. I can see him rebounding and having a fine week. So I'm not cutting him yet, but I'm definitely cutting Poston. For sure. And then the other guy you guys talked about was Nick Hardy. I'm in with you on him. Guy bombs it, ranks 14th in driving distance, ranks 3rd in birdies. And the putting metric I look at is right around even. So he's not losing a ton of strokes or gaining. So I can get on board with Hardy, but my favorite in this range, I'm eating chalk. Cam Davis, I'm telling you right now, he's going to be one of my like 60 to 70% owned guys. I'm fine giving that out right now. Snyder, give me your overall favorite play in this range.
For me in this 8K range, it's going to be, I like a lot of these guys. I'm going to go with the Nick Hardy there with his recent form and the lower ownership I think he's going to get. So I definitely like Cam Davis as well. I'm going to be overweight on him as well.
Cool. We all know Kurt's favorite play. He is hard for Nick Hardy. So Kurt, bring us into the 7K range, buddy.
Oh, you're on mute.
Kurt.
Hey, who does that once a time? So I just had to fill his shoes. Okay.
Yeah, good recovery there. Love to see it.
All right, so I'm gonna have to have some come to Jesus moments here with some of this. I think a way to get different for me is if I play like a chalk Goddard up. I've not seen ownership projections yet. That's like a Wednesday night thing for me. Goddard up and Svensson, I'm sure they're going to be pretty high. I think playing them together, there's ways I can get different, eat this chalk and just leave so much salary because you don't need those guys up top. So I think that's another way I'm going to do it for my hand builds. Goddard up, the kid's good. Like this is a perfect tournament to just play these like young guys that are good. I'm going to play Goddard up. Don't play Dusty, Jason Day, Cameron Champ. He'll be in the pool. The guys won this tournament. I don't think he'll win again, but I don't think you'll really need that down here. The Todd Father, I think I'm off the Todd Father. It's kind of a decent course fit, but no, I'm playing pretty Ricky just because I think he'll be low owned. I don't advise it. I don't advise
hold
it.
On. Pause.
Pause. I'm not telling you how to do it.
Pause. We don't play Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler's canceled on the show, Kurt.
I'm getting a little dribble of Ricky Fowler. Okay, just a little.
Kurt. Nope.
Just a little bit.
Kurt. The guy doesn't make birdies.
I don't care. I just got to.
All right.
I'm not. It's a terrible play. It's terrible.
All right. Kurt, real quick. If we go back and look at how many times we have all been in your shoes, we have all said this. We have all been like, "Oh, I get it. I'm gonna play him. Just a little sprinkle." I'm telling you, the next week, I already can see what's gonna happen. The next week, we come back and we're like, that was such a donkey play. We can't play this guy. He's too dusty. We'll let you play him. You got to experience. You got to walk in the shoes, to actually see what we're talking about. So we'll let you do it. But
you know what?
I'm gonna tell you, we'll talk next week. You'll see the dusty Ricky Fowler is not going to get it done for you.
This range is so loaded that I'll give Ricky the axe, but it hurts because I don't think he's capable of like keeping up with the birdie pace that this course will have. But so Svensson, I love Svensson, of course. I'm gonna have Grillo in the pool. Good on approach. And you can. It's easy to putt here. Wyndham Clark crushes the ball. I've been playing him pretty heavy the past 2 weeks. Didn't help me last week, but the Scottish got the 16th, so I was pretty happy with that. Naismith, another young guy I've been playing. I don't know if he's young, but I've been playing him all year. I'm pretty sure he's youngish. CT Pan, you all know my thing. Okay, I don't got to talk about it. I'm gonna play CT Pan.
You're playing Mr. Kim then as well.
Actually, I have a hot take about Tom Kim. I think I've decided I think I want to fade Tom Kim.
Good. All right. Good. Watching this dude play, like at the Open, they actually had good coverage on him. Guy has swagger, man. He just straight like he's a bigger, like he's little, but he's like bigger. He got a little belly on him, and he's got some swagger to him though. Like he was like, I like what I saw.
If he could wear like a belly shirt, I'm pretty sure he'd rock a belly shirt. Because
I'm saying like if like you're someone that doesn't watch a lot of golf And if you just like turn the channel on and you watch this guy and you watched how he walks, how he reacts after like missing a putt and stuff, you'd be like, oh, okay, I'm going to play him. You know, he actually like cares about what he's doing.
He's honestly became one of my favorite players. Like, I think the kid's going to be a star. I think
he's good, man. He's
I kind of
very
hinted
good.
at Tambo. I think that he'll be better than Hideki. And I think he'll be better than Hideki in 5 years.
Yeah, because he doesn't have that damn pause at the top of his swing. I mean, you know, he's free with it.
So Smotherman, love Smotherman. Gonna play Smotherman. Thompson, former winner. I think he actually won't be in my pool. I'm hoping that I'll play one of the former winners and Thompson will not make the cut. No Stewie, Doug Gim. I like Doug Gim because he's gonna be my Kim fade. I think Doug Gim can finish pretty high here. Donnie Lee popped in one of my models. I don't know what it was for, but you know, I'm gonna do it anyways because I mean, come on. I like T Dunks and John Hunt to round it out down here. God, this range is huge.
Yep.
Oh, man, I feel like I'm long-winded. But Tom Hoagie, I want to see what you all think because he's been terrible for me. But if he just finds that form that he had early in the year, he's gonna be low owned. Some Hoagie love for any of you all?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see. Snyder, let's kick it over to you. You know, I think Gotterup was the guy that I'm surprised. There's another Canadian. We'll see if Snyder talks him up, but I love him this week. So we'll see. Coming off a very nice showing at the Barbasol, you know, fits that Canadian narrative that we were talking about before. Oh, Canada. Snyder, what are you doing with the 7K range?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to hit on him in a little bit, but I got to go to my guy, Mr. Gotterup, though, first. I've been on him every event he's played. No, there's no reason for me to jump off right now. He's played a lot better since that miscut at the RBC when he was just mega chalk. And the last kind of situation like this, he was way higher owned than anyone thought he was going to be. Since then, he's finished fourth at the John Deere, shooting sub 70 in all 4 rounds. One of the best iron players in this field, I think. He did MC last week, but that was mainly due to first round 75. He did battle back, shot 67 on Friday, but it was just a little bit too late. But I definitely like to see that 67 out of him on Friday. He's definitely a guy that can go low. He shot 65 and 66 at the John Deere. He can nuke it off the tee as well. I mean, he's hit the ball well over 330 at times this year. So I like Goddard up there for sure. Adam Svensson, that's the Canadian there. I think you were talking about. Definitely, he was great last week at the Barbasol. Came 6th place. Actually was great for 3 rounds. That 4th round on Sunday, he only shot 71, kind of knocked him back a little bit. But I think he's one of the more underpriced guys in this field. I'm definitely going to be on him. 11 of his last 16 rounds have been sub 70. So he should set up really well here. 40-1 odds at his price is really good. Mr.
Snyder, let me interject. So Ricky Fowler, all right, in this Kurt, there's nothing that's just out there because people may slide in. Ricky Fowler is 7,700, Svensson 7,600. I'll Uncle T, if you want to bet, I will take Svensson over Fowler. You know, cheaper too. But I'm with you. Love Svensson. Kurt, you're gonna play. I know you're gonna play Svensson. Once you look at it, I know you're gonna look at the metrics. You always do. You're gonna love them too.
No, oh yeah, like they were the first thing that popped up. I mean, I love that guy. Am I on mute? No, I'm not on mute. Yeah, I mean,
oh, you're good.
Svensson is like such a much better play than Ricky, but like, okay, you talk me off.
You might have to play Ricky a little bit now. If he, he's not. He's not gonna ship. You're good.
He'll get like 35th. Yeah, Fowler will probably get like 35th or something.
That's you know, normally when you talk someone off a play and if they go on to win, you feel bad about it. But
yeah, but
I'm so confident that like there's a 0 chance that like that ever happens. So yeah, I'm confident in that. Snyder, keep going, brother.
Tom Kim right there. Odds wise, I mean, it's got some ridiculous odds for his price tag. 28-1 to win this event. He finished 3rd at the Scottish Open, his last event out. It was 23rd at the U.S. Open, 17th at the Byron Nelson. So definitely think he's interesting. Our guy, Mr. Ham, Wyndham Clark, a great upside tournament play. Finished 5th here the first year the event was here. Good reason for him heading in as well. Troy Merritt's 45-1 odds to win at this, 7-4. price tag. He has a 7th and a 30th at this event. He's a pretty high upside birdie maker too, so I like him. Smother Goat, Austin Smotherman, another young gun we have been riding quite a bit this year, so I think I'm going to be on him this week as well. And our guy Hoop isn't here, so I definitely have to bring up his guy Nick Taylor. He's great odds here too. 7-2 price tag, and he's 55-1 to win this event. And so I think Nick Taylor is definitely worth some consideration. Bo Hostler's another high upside guy in this range. I do like the CT Pan call there as well. He made 19 birdies and an eagle at the John Deere in his last outing. AP's guy, I know he's going to talk up some Chess and Hadley. I think he's solid there. He had 5th at the Travelers and 10th at the John Deere, so I think he's right there. I'm sure AP's going to talk him up quite a bit. Some other guys maybe in this 7K range, if we look at maybe like a John Huh, he's got some pretty good recent form heading in. Tyler Duncan, I was on him some early this year. He's an upside birdie maker. I could definitely see myself maybe playing him in some larger field tournaments and such. Hayden Buckley's right there. He's got some good form heading into this 7,100. He's 80-1 on FanDuel. Stephen Yeager's right there. He's got good form heading in. He's got a 22nd and a 30th lately. Adam Shanks, interesting guy there. Our guy Callum Terham, he's a guy that Hoop's been on too. 7K, it's a really good price tag for him. He had a 6th place and a 22nd and a 31st in his recent form. So I definitely like Callum Terham there too. There's some other guys, but I'll let AP get in on this 7K range as well now.
Yeah, so got her up. I'm with you guys. The chalk I'm eating, I think it's like, man, like if you're playing, like I don't have a seat. I'm the worst at trying to qualify for those things. I'm an ROI guy. I just, I'm kind of a, like a nit. I play tight. It's how it is sometimes. I loosen up at times, but if you're not hitting those live final seats, it can add up. So, and if you ever want to talk bankroll management strategy, it's something that I do like spend a lot of time thinking about. Hit me up. Maybe we can get some discussions going on over in Discord, Rumpier Sports, obviously. But Chris got her up. I'm eating that chalk, and gosh, if you have a seat, I do think at 7,900, the game even coming off a cut off the Barber stall, I'm not worried about that because you have other good finishes there. I think he's a great play. Svensson, I already talked about, at Snyder, you talked about him, but man, he grades out so well. The putting metric I talked about, one of the best on the slate, 17.2 over his last 24 rounds. You need a good putter here. We saw with Cameron Champ. Speaking of Cameron Champ, I'm telling you guys, like if you look at what he's done recently, the putter's bad. No good finishes in a long time. He does this every year. He always does this. What I'm saying is if you're multi-entering, if you're playing 150, get him at set a minimum 8%. That's going to get you over the weight on the field. I think he's coming in at 5-7. He's the defending champion. And man, I just think this guy he randomly wins. Like he miscut, win. Then he goes on to miss cuts. He does it like every year. I'm telling you. So this is an event he could win again. He's already won it. Of course, sets up well for him. Obviously, he felt good on these greens, and I see his ownership. I'm looking at one side. I could pull up another side, but I see. We'll see. I see his ownership kind of trending downwards. So if he's going to be, I see it downwards across the board. So if he's going to be lower owned, I think he becomes a phenomenal tournament play. With him, you gotta just not look at what he's done recently. I'm telling you. The other thing too is look at his his outright numbers. I've won a couple outrights on him. And like it's a process with him. It's just, man, he's going to be frustrated and then he randomly wins. He's done it multiple times. He's going to continue to do it. That's just his game. Keep going down here. I think I'm going to be off Wyndham Clark. I'm a Wyndham Clark guy, but man,
play him.
What?
Play him.
He All right. I mean, I could be talked into playing him. Kurt, you did well, but my theory, my thought behind not playing him is just, gosh, he just, coming off the open, coming back. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm torn. I will admit it. I'm torn on him. I want to fade him, but maybe you guys could talk me into him. CT Pan, I'm with you, Kurt, on him. Austin Smother Goat, as Snyder says, I'm in on him as well. Michael Thompson, former winner here, back in 2020. I'm not playing him. The interesting thing is, like, people are going to talk up bombers this week, but Michael Thompson ranks 133rd in this field in driving distance. So what I'm getting at is don't get hung up on this bomber narrative. We've seen other, Michael Thompson win at this track. So, I'm not playing him, but I like his type of golfer, which maybe could be Chesson Hadley, probably not, but the putter is hot right now. He's gained 12.6 strokes over his last cumulative 24 rounds. The approach game is on fire right now, and he ranks 29th in birdies over his last 24 rounds. So something I'm looking at. Matthias Schwab, another guy I'm interested in. And I have a few sprinkles, a few MME type plays, guys like Kramer Hickok, Tyler Duncan, maybe Nate Lashley, and then Callum Tarrant. And then the other guy is another Canadian, actually, going on this Canadian narrative, Michael Gillick. He's another guy that I've been very impressed with what I've seen. I feel like he's really rounding into form. I know this guy's always had a ton of talent. What we're starting to see now, though, because the ball striking has always been decent, his putter's coming alive. So the metric I look at, he's gained 11.6 strokes putting over his last 24 rounds. So I have a ton of interest in him. So if I had to give my favorite play, though, again, it's like I'm eating a lot of chalk, and people are going to say, man, are you playing tournaments? Why are you eating all this chalk? I'm telling you, there's good chalk and there's bad chalk. I think Chris Gotterup is good chalk, and he's my favorite play in this range. It was close, though, between him and Adam Sensen, who's another chalk play. I do think Gotterup's going to be the lower owned between the two, but so I'm going to go with Gotterup. Snyder, favorite play, 7K range.
It's going to be Chris Gotterup for me in this range, so I'm definitely going to be overweight on him.
Kurt, are you getting it up for Gotterup? Favorite play, 7K range.
I love him, but I'm gonna go Smotherman to get different from you guys.
All right. Let's go 6K range. Finish this thing out.
Well, a couple guys I'm gonna touch on at 7K flat. Jaeger Bombs is gonna be in the pool for me. Adam's gonna be in the pool. Bramlett, but 6K. I don't have really much down here. Hank the Tank. I mean, we've been playing him. Like I said, play your guys, and it worked out for me last week, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Like it. But
I don't need much down here because I'm not playing the top. Austin Cook, I know it's very easy to putt here, so you're not going to think, okay, well, let me go play the best, one of the best putters on the tour. But I mean, I want the automatic guy, so give me some Austin Cook. Oh, and Soshi Kadira. Definitely gonna be double or triple on him. The approach, I think it's 175 to I think it's 150 to 200.
I love that play.
I sent it to you this morning.
Man.
I see the screenshot. I'm like, hey, you might want to throw him in the pool because he's popping on some of these approach shots. It's going to be common here. I think it's over 20% of the yardage for the proximity. He's top 10. He's top 8 in. So that kind of snuck out to me. Yeah, this is really all I got down here. I don't need much down here, guys, but Soshi Kadira would be my favorite play.
Yeah, I like it. Snyder, 6K range.
Yeah, I think there's some interesting options down here. We got Hank the Tank there, 26th and 34th in this 2 appearances here. He's been solid recently as well. Bryce Garnett finished 16th last week after 4 missed cuts in a row, but he was barely missing those cuts. Was really close to the cut line in those events. T20 at the weak field last week, and now comes to another weak field this week where he has finished 26th or better in all 3 trips here. So I like Garrett down there. Bo Hogue, he's been solid. We've been on him a few times in these weaker type fields. 16th and 12th here. for his history. Justin Lower is a guy that's kind of sneakily been under the radar, very, very consistent. He's made 10 of his last 13 cuts, 16th at the Barracuda last week and 8th at the Barbasol in his last 2 events. Crushes the par 5s. Has a good putter too, which will be needed here at the Birdie Fest. Sung Yul No is 6.3K. 4 straight cuts made. A good birdie upside for him too. A guy that's on the Corn Ferry Tour right now, Cole Hammer, 6'5". He was T7 in his last Corn Ferry tournament, so he's a good guy too. He could bomb it off the tee. He's averaging 316 yards off the tee on the Corn Ferry Tour this year. Our guy, Mr. Malnetti's under 7K once again. We've been on him quite often. Andrew Novak's another guy we've been on a few times here and there. He's had some pretty good recent form heading in at 6'8" as well. I think that's pretty much it for me in this range. I think you can play a lot of these 6K guys because I don't see any ownership at all. Like there might be 1 or 2 guys that come in even over 3% owned in the 6K range because I think ownership is going to be like in that 7 to 9K range for the majority. So I think if you want to throw in a few of these 6K guys to kind of get different, and maybe you do that by setting your salary restrictions and stuff. But I definitely like a few guys down here.
I totally.
So yeah, one.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I totally
Kurt.
forgot about Soon You'll Know. I even have like some stats down here.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I'm surprised. No, I was gonna say that I was gonna say, Kurt, you're gonna play Sung Young Noel. Like we're gonna talk you into him because I had him as well. So I thought that was awesome that Snyder brought him up. And I knew it would get added to your pool. Fits the mold, the Kurt Jones mold. I do want to say too, Satoshi Kodaira ranks 9th. So I do my 4 random. It's not really random, but my little model rankings. And one of them this week was easy scoring tracks. And I'm just looking at DK points. So it's not total strokes gained or anything like that. It's who scored the best that week, making birdies, eagles, whatever, on easy scoring courses. Satoshi Kodaira ranks 9th in this field on that. So another one that's awesome. Another one I looked up was bent grass over the last 36 rounds. Sung Young Noel ranks 13th in this field. He's 6,300. He's my favorite. He's the lowest I'm going as far as price is concerned down there. I have him on my pool. I have Satoshi Kodaira in my pool. I'm not good with pronouncing names, so this is throwing me off. But the 6K range, Justin Lower, another guy I'm very interested in. He's been playing very well. I have interest in Hank the Tank. I believe Snyder, you brought him up. Chase Seifert, I'm going to give another shot. Doc Redman, the form isn't that good, but this is a guy that can get it going. He's performed well in weak fields, so I'm going to go there. Brandon Hagee, I have in my pool right now. I'm telling you, so like some of these guys, I have more cuts to make. I'm only on my step 1 of my process where I do my first initial cuts. And then, right now I'm at 54 players. So I'm going to have to make another round of cuts to get down to the number that I want. With this being a higher variance a week, normally I like to play around 30, 3 to 35. As long as I'm making stands up top, I'm fine playing more players this week. So my kind of limit is 45 as long as I'm playing or as long as I'm very overweight on 3 guys. If I have 3 guys, minimum 60% to that 60, 70% range, I can open up the field and it becomes a mix and match type of situation for me. So what I'm looking at when I'm doing that are people with some upside or relative to their price, which I think Doc Redman, he's shown it in the past. I think Chase Seifert, a guy who's shown it in the past. Justin Lower, a guy who's shown it recently. His form is good. Dylan Wu is another one of those guys for me. And then you could add in Noel, Sung Young Noel, and some of these. What is it?
Soon you will know.
Soon you will know. Sung you will know.
So I have a couple stats on him.
Soon you will know. Sung will know. All right, I got it.
Same thing. Same. So he's 8th in birdies gained and 15th in opportunities gained in this field.
I like it. I like it a lot. So I think my favorite, the notebook play is going to be Justin Lower, though. I've been very impressed with this guy. With all of these young bucks coming in, I just think that this guy is I think we're going to continue to see the form. But I will say, I'm not like that excited about the 6K range. I think there's so many more better plays in the 7K and 8K range this week. So that's where a lot of my ownership is going to be. Snyder, your favorite play in the 6K range. And then we'll get to Kirk. We'll get to our winners. Yeah,
we're going to be arm in arm down here because Justin Lower was the guy I had highlighted down here as my favorite target.
I like it. Kurt.
Soshi Kadaira.
I like it. All right, let's go to our winners, how we do each and every week. We're going to give you who we think wins, and we're going to give you a long shot. This week, I think most likely the scenario is it's a long shot that's won. If you look at it over the past few years, it's always been like 100 to 1 or more that have won here. So it seems likely that trend continues. But Snyder, if you're ready, let's start with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit down the board here this week. I'm gonna go with my guy Chris Goddard up at 45 to 1. I think he's got the elite iron play. He's a bomber off the tee, like we saw Cameron Champ last year. If he can get that putter fired up here, I think he's got the opportunity to go real low here. And then for my longer shot, I'm going to go with Austin Smothergoat at 80 to 1.
Yeah, I like two good picks. I'm going to have to keep track of those because I like both of those. Kurt, who do you got winning?
We'll go Nick Hardy, 45 to 1. Long shot. I didn't get one, so just give me Soshi Kadaira, and I'll find. Oh, actually, you know what? Give me Austin Cook, 200 to 1.
There you go.
I like that. I'm really tempted. So, I'm gonna get. Man, does the trend continue? So, if this trend continues, where we see just massive underdogs win here, looking at that, there's a few names that you could sprinkle, a little bit of money on. But man, Michael Gillick, I think is 100 to 1. You could throw on him. The other one that I'm looking at is, Justin Lower, 130 to 1, or you could look at a Callum Tarrant, 130 to 1. I think some of those two guys are really interesting. With Callum Tarrant, the distance is there. He fits the mold of kind of like what we saw with Cameron Champ. So I think that's interesting. And then Justin Lower, it's just more of a form type thing. This is the week where I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of money, 10, 20 bucks on a bunch of these guys that are over 100 to 1. Kind of an interesting strategy that's going to pay out a lot of money if you win. We've seen it happen with the past three winners here. So I kind of like that. Snyder, give us your final thoughts at the 3M Open.
Yeah, looking forward to this event. It's going to be a lot of people are going to kind of take it easy, kind of take an off week this week. But I mean, we're going to be here grinding. We're going to have the playbook up and the core plays and all that going forward. We're going to have showdown content as well going through this event. So check that out at Rumpier Sports for the premium content, and then the free live shows will be on the Mayo Media Network. But definitely looking forward to this event. Looking forward to golfing with you the next couple of days and Big T on Thursday. So that'll be a lot of fun, and can't wait.
We got the match coming up, Snyder against Big T coming on Thursday. So I'm sure we'll bring something up there with how we're going to do that. But it should be a ton of fun. Kurt, final thoughts, 3M Open.
I'm excited. I was kind of hesitant about this field until Tom Kim joined. So even though I will be fading, I love watching that kid. So I'm looking forward to that. Final thoughts, do not be afraid to leave salary. I think the optimal is going to leave a lot of salary this week. So I will not have any fear of leaving. Like when I set my thing, it's probably going to be 48-2 is my min. So,
all right. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, for me, final thoughts, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, helps us out a lot. We got the premium show coming tomorrow. Content, MLB is going to be back. All the content is going to be on point, but the focus right now is PGA. This is a fun week. Get different. Like we talked about, leave salary on the table. Eat some chalk. Don't auto eat, fade chalk if it's good chalk. So try to figure out what you think is good chalk and what's bad chalk. It may be different than my opinion, but I do feel good about some of the chalk that I'm eating this week. So yeah, it's fun. I think it's good for multi-entering. Leave salary on the table. Get different. with some of these players down here. Take some shots. Justin Lower, Callum Tarrant, Chesson Hadley down there, Austin Smotherman. Some of those guys, we're going to see them at the top of the leaderboard. So with that, I'm AP. That's Snyder. That's Kurt. Simon, get us out of here.